Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Audacity Podcast. I am your currently snotty-nosed host, Julian or Julian Creates, whose nose is running like a faucet, so y'all gonna have to bear with me.
Not a faucet.
'Cause my nose is running like a faucet, and what else is running out? My patience with the
Ooh,
world. So y'all bear with me today. But who
yeah,
am I?
he said he's sick of y'all. That's what he said. My
Not
God.
y'all, but child, don't test me.
Ooh,
Don't test me. Because
yes.
the crash out spirit has been too close for comfort.
Listen, I just feel like that is just like life right now. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody is one false move away from doing this crashing out that these kids say that we out here doing.
I mean, but it made it the fact that literally, let's be real about it. There are many people online who are applauding somebody who done went and pew-pewed somebody, a CEO.
Well,
And and the person and people are like, the person who turned them in got fired and did not get the reward money. And the world is like, well, that's what you get because snitches get stitches. I'm like, we have lost the plot, but also I get it because the plot done been lost a long time. It's like I'm seeing, it's like, are we living in the French Revolution?
I mean, it's giving Peter Pan. I mean, not Peter Pan, but it's definitely giving Robin Hood.
Yes, Robin Hood. I'm like,
Although Robin did not pew anyone.
not in the way that we know it, but if we look at some of the original stories, there was
Oh
some,
my God, Robin Hood.
I mean, look, you know. I mean, but also have you, I mean, all of the fairy tales, let's be real about it. They was all craziness.
Questionable at best.
I mean, the fact that Cinderella was Cinder Winch, I'm like, well, damn, why she gotta be all of that?
My God.
Cinder Winch. But yeah, we digress, y'all. We digress.
Mhm.
We do got a little Am I the Asshole for y'all today.
I'm
Okay.
excited because I haven't heard it. So
All right. Am I the asshole? My mother keeps promising relatives that I will make them things for them. Does anyone else get this? How do you handle it? So my mother constantly asked me to make her things. Oh, could you make me this like you have? It will be so warm. At family gatherings, I have overheard her tell relatives on numerous occasions, oh, I will get blank to make something like that for you, for your kids. They'll look so cute in it. Today she got a shirt that was too big. She told me that I would have to take it in for her. I told her that I sewed because it was fun, and that wasn't fun. She acted like I was being the worst person in the world. Would it kill you to do this for me? My answer was yes. And she walked away to talk to other relatives. Then there was a time I tried to explain my position. Sewing is a fun hobby. Hobbies are there to enrich your life. Huge eye roll right there. And obligations and demands just suck all the fun out of it.
it is facts though.
I mean, look, the fact that you already have boundaries, I appreciate. I have a million different projects on my list, the time to accomplish a fraction of them, and the skills to accomplish a tiny fraction of those. Yet
Mm,
I'm supposed to be the bad guy here. No, you're not. You are living up to the boundaries that you set for yourself, and you are prioritizing your peace. And
mm.
for that, we say kudos because I remember the many a times people done brought me things, brought me fabric. Can you just whip this up for me?
That has never happened to me.
Or when I tell you, I just cleaned out my trunk when I got the new car and forgot that I had a bag of fabric in my trunk that somebody gave me to make them something, and I told them it will be on my time. They gave that to me last Mother's Day though, and said they wanted it
Time
for.
keeps on ticking. Time keeps on ticking.
And
Okay.
I tell them, my mother has waited multiple years for things until I was ready.
Listen,
You are not about to, again, and I've told people this, there's a reason I don't do custom commissions for people. I felt like a sweatshop when I did. And
Yep.
I protect sewing at all costs.
Yeah.
If I decide to make money from sewing, it is the ways that I decide to make money from sewing. I will not make it for you. I will teach you how to do it.
Hmm.
It's Julian Creates Demystifies button up
Oh,
shirts coming this Saturday, December 14th
oh
from
my
11
gosh. I cannot
1.
believe it is this Saturday already.
Lord Jesus, me either.
Listen, if
PM
you
Eastern
have not
Standard
gotten
Time.
your registration, go ahead because obviously this goes live on Friday, which means that you will still have time to get your admission ticket, your registration for tomorrow. Even if you are like, I can't make it,
It is
Julian will have
recorded.
a recording for you where you will be able to do that. And because I know who my brother is as a person, if after you watch that recording you have a pregunta, definitely submit that on over to him and he will respond accordingly. But y'all don't miss out on this opportunity, okay? Um, I like to share this that one of the things like people will look at me and Julian has called me Speedy So Godless, or people be like, oh, you make everything so fast, blah, 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 blah. But on them days where I be coming for Julian, I'd be like, and he have an attitude, I'd be like, listen, just go ahead and take an hour, and make yourself a button up. Stop playing. Like, just go make a new button up. You be fine. Like, it'll fix your attitude. It'll only take you like an hour, right? So
Mhm.
the way that Julian's confidence around button ups is kind of like my confidence in making sweatpants and hoodies and sweatshirts and t-shirts. Anything on a serger, right? Um, that is what Julian is with these button ups. And I remember thinking to myself, I did not want to make button ups at all. And talked to Julian about it. I hopped on a live on TikTok to make my first button up. And Julian was on the live and was giving me my little coaching tidbits. Y'all, after I made my first button up, I was like, huh. So I was all in my head. Okay, cool, 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 cool.
Once again, because my new slogan is I got a new saying. Because at the end of the day, a stitch is a stitch. So you might as well make that stitch, yo bitch.
Okay. We need a bumper sticker.
Look, look. But yeah, there's definitely still time to join. Just quick plug, because I'm proud of myself because we doing the thing.
Hmm.
I have taken this concept from idea to selling it. And for that, I applaud myself
Yes.
and my previous self and my future self for doing it.
Yes.
So, so we are excited
That,
for
that is a
that.
really great way to end 2024. Like
It,
being like, hey, I can do these things and they aren't that hard.
and I will do more of them. And I get to share my knowledge. And I get to share things like why is it a button up and not a button down?
My favorite fact to share.
Or like, how did show shirts become, how did we start wearing shirts outside when they used to be draws? They used to be our draws until about the 1830s or so. Hmm.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Hmm.
Um,
Like from
that's
3000 BC.
incredible. I would have never known that.
Yeah, they used to be our draws. So yes, feel free to come and join and learn, and especially if you are always have been nervous or scared about collars, cuffs,
Mhm.
plackets, or buttonholes, or you've done them and messed them up, and you want to learn some tricks, tips, and tricks from a person who's made a lot of them, how to fix those fuck ups. We'll talk through them. So, but any hoodles, back to this person who set boundaries. Here's my thing. Because if your mama is doing all of this, I bet she's so. I bet she's so. Because it sounds like somebody who would do this, who done forgot and got amnesia about someone. They used to sew your Halloween costumes or something back in the day. And now they don't want to do that no more. So they up here just giving you stuff to do. You
Not to
keep up
be.
with your boundaries.
Yeah.
And this is for anybody else out there. Do y'all realize the world we live in, the hellscape that we are living in right now? Do y'all know the price of gas or eggs? Do y'all know what is about to happen in the government? If it makes me happy to sew thongs for myself and my dog or something craziness, I'm gonna do that. And I'll crash out if you try to critique that.
All I know is you better hit it with an iron
I mean, there's that. Please do.
before the people come for you and be like, it looks unprofessional because you didn't press it.
I mean, I will say that as well. But I'll keep. I usually, but see, also in 2025, can we just talk about the things we need to take into 2025, y'all? Uh, Keeping your critiques to yourself.
Mm,
If it ain't asked for, shut the f up,
mm.
y'all. Again, I told y'all my patience is running out my nose with the snot. But I'm just tired. If I ain't asked for a critique of it, don't give it to me.
Yeah.
Because you ain't asked why I sew. I sew because I like to create and construct. You ain't asked if I wanted it. Sometimes I really don't care how it fits. I really don't. I just want to sew. The machine is what brings me calm and joy. I don't care sometimes.
You know what you know what would make that easier for people
Mm-hmm.
is if they stopped thinking that there was only one way to do things and it's their way. You know what I
Not
mean?
only not only that, but they only think that the way to do things is from a patriarchal Eurocentric construct.
Ooh,
But that's a whole nother conversation we ain't gonna do today because I ain't had my Wheaties yet.
wow.
But that's a bigger conversation to have.
And is wowzers.
But because we could there's the message there that y'all ain't ready for. I know we'll just leave it at that.
But I also believe in that as well because like I asked on Threads this week, or maybe it was last week, what's your what's your oh my gosh, what is the saying?
What's your Roman Empire?
Yes. Like
Mm-hmm.
for sewing, like what is it that you'll like fight tooth and nail to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to sewing? And like mine is that there's not just one right specific way to do things, right?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. There's
Um,
not.
and one of the things that Dana Cole, I call her my cousin because we have the same last
I
names.
mean, there's that. Mm-hmm.
But she was like, I hate it when people critique my pieces because I haven't matched my threads to my pieces, but I intentionally use a variegated rainbow thread because I always want rainbow in every piece that I make. And
Right.
I think that that is really important. Like, I know that I've gotten flack, we'll leave out where from, for having top stitches that don't match because I personally like contrasting top stitching and I
Mm-hmm.
like to do contrasting top stitching in specifically variegated thread. And I hate this notion that it has to look this way in order for it to be quote unquote right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we got to leave that and we have to understand that people have different aesthetics. And part of that is the reason why they decided to learn to sew.
That part. And I think in the fact that people aren't allowed that space. And I
Yeah.
think we just need to allow that. And it was interesting, and we're seeing it in the same way that we're seeing it as people are talking about like the home decor, especially because I love my 92%. You know who the 92 is. Um, but the conversation around people are getting out of the whole idea of this minimalistic um like decor in home spaces because
Mhm.
culturally, ancestrally, that's not us.
Yeah, I'm a maximalist.
Anyways, I'm a maximalist to the max, you know, and literally understand that the whole idea of these very clean, stark spaces, modern, everything like that is coming out from a very Eurocentric version of what is considered to be right. That was really prescribed. I want to say it was like 1904 or something like that. Um, in spaces that this was the way to go over like the very before that, you had the very Victorian, which was very maximalist. and everything like that. Um, but also it was still coming from a very white gaze and not taking into account the richness that we thrive on.
Right.
And I find that when people don't have that, or people have the very beige wardrobes, no, 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 if that's you, praise the Lord for you. That ain't me. Okay. Um,
As we sit in like bright colors.
I mean, there's that. There's that. I mean, but how you know my wardrobe. There ain't gonna be not a lot of drab. Um, like it. Not to say it's soul sucking, but for some of it, it is. It's soul sucking. Because it literally goes against the very fiber of what of our DNA makeup. You know what I'm saying? It goes against the richness of colors of Africa, of the Serengeti, of the Saharas, of
I really tried to be in with that hike style
look,
with like the 50 shades of beige and like I was with it with the soft textures. Like I love a blanket, a little crochet or a knit situation, you feel me? Or like
it
the
better be a fuchsia. It better be in
right,
teak.
but that is it. I was like I was really trying to do like our bedroom in like that high style.
Mhm,
But then I
mhm.
was like, "Ooh, let me go ahead and grab some terracotta and some burgundy. Oh, and
Right,
this breast looks amazing. Oh, so does this
right,
marigold.
right,
Damn.
right, right.
I was like, oh, and is that does that teal really make this pop? Like,
I mean, it just needs a little puce. It needs a little
right.
puce.
Somebody was like, on one of my YouTube videos, she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about your car accident, but also, where is that pink couch from?" Like let's get back to the other important things, right? Like, where did you get this flavorful couch?
But also, can we talk about even as I was looking for a car, I looked at nothing that was black or gray.
Although
And it,
I have a black car.
I know, and I thought about it, but I was like, honestly, I was looking for the thing that was going to be the most different as
Mhm.
much as possible. Now, my car is red. I would have preferred like an orange. Like I remember Tiguan's, Volkswagen Tiguan's had this
Oh yeah,
beautiful, vibrant orange. I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty."
I want a
Or
car the color of your jacket.
oh, yep. I was actually trying to get I wanted like a British racing green car. Like
Mm,
very, but there ain't too many of them in the right green. There are some in the olive, but I'm like, I can't find one I want.
yeah,
But the one I got in red, it works for me. But yeah, just even like literally, there are not many spaces and places in my life that ain't color.
yeah,
Because and that is by design and that is by makeup because that is part of my DNA.
yeah.
Do it is part of yours, but I think it goes back to the whole idea of somebody dictating what is right for
Hmm.
everybody. And I
Right.
think if we have not learned anything else, especially in a country right now, that there is a small minority who is trying to dictate for the majority what is right, what is wrong, what is godly, what is not, I'm going to buck against it like you have never seen before.
Mm,
So if that means I gotta wear rainbow booty shorts to the office
we
with
love.
some fishnets and
Oh,
some thigh-high stilettos and make it look like work, put a blazer over it or something, maybe a tie.
we know things are super professional with blazers.
A tie. I'll tie a tie as a garter belt or something on my thigh. You know. Um, But it's like literally just because you are not going to take the choice away from me.
Yeah,
And
that
I think that in so many, and especially nowadays, we're getting into places where people are trying to take choices away from us. And even in how we are deciding and styling and stuff like that, whereas there are some of those influencers or who are trying to whose voices are loud enough, and we ain't gonna name no names, but who only can see things if they are in certain jeans and whites and whatnot and whatnots. That ain't me. If you don't want to see me, you don't want to see me. But I mean, I'm colorful enough. Even when your eyes closed, you are going to.
yeah, I'm
Because I always, if you guys that much to say about me, that means I'm in your medulla. I'm in your brain.
now me over here like, do you need to text me about who you're talking about?
Child, look, again, my patience is running out of my nose like snot.
Go ahead and slide into my text messages. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I think like we like I'm at that point now, like we just need to like it's not only about dopamine dressing
hmm.
and finding the joy, but it's also about the revolt of it all. So it's really like I've been, I've done some research and stuff like that as Black dandyism is talking about and stuff like that, and especially in the Sudan and stuff like that, some of their counterculture fashion styles. Really like using there is one counterculture fashion style that is using Issa Miyake
Hmm.
using like Japanese style or using motorbiker style or using cowboy style in these as counterculture in African like villages and stuff like that. I'm like, this is what we need sometimes. And it
Yeah.
has just kind of held on and people have made it their own. But at the same time, I'm like, it's about, look, no matter where I'm at, I'm about to be the rose in Spanish Harlem. I'm about to be the rose out of the concrete. You're going to see me wherever I am. And we just need to be about that. And that's part of the sewing for me. And the boundaries of it is that I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. It's going to be what it is.
Yep.
And even as I'm working with companies and stuff like that, they know I'm going to be picking the brightest colors or prints or something. It has to speak to me if I got to work with it.
Yeah.
And
And I
that's
don't feel like we should have to compromise that, right? Like because style and fashion are very much so revolutionary.
it is. But people, it seems like people don't want that. Like, especially in the home, like in some certain home spaces, it feels like we are going very much, um, people want to take away the individuality of it all. But at the end of the day, if I wanted it from Walmart, I will get it there.
That part. You know who one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram is, and she's actually based in Atlanta, is Blessed Bungalow.
Mm, mm-hmm,
I love her aesthetic. She is like, oh, it's just so good, everything that she does.
mm-hmm.
Um, and she is a very maximalist with her styling and with her indoor decor. It is beautiful. I want to say that she's released like a line of wallpapers and some other things. And I'm just like, I wish that she did fabrics.
We need more people to do fabrics. I just need y'all to just everybody, if you come out with wallpaper, if you come out with anything, y'all just need to come out with the fabric, please.
Speaking of, I actually like made something with my fabric for Vlogmas.
Come
And then I
on.
went to go and link to it on Spoonflower, and my store was missing in its entirety. And I was like, oh, cool story, bro.
Well,
Like,
damn.
definitely was completely expecting that to happen. And I don't know if it's just like for with Spoonflower, I'm like, do you have to like, I don't know, renew your designs every year or something along those lines? Because I was like, I don't remember getting an email about it at all.
Right.
Like I bought, my fabrics, obviously, and I've just been hoarding them as opposed to sewing with them because a lot of life. But, you know, I don't know. I was like, I finally made something, and now I can't even find the damn fabric on the website to link it to.
Well, luckily, like as we're talking about fabrics and just that connection and stuff like that, for my birthday, I posted my first like Minerva make,
Hmm.
um, out of a Minerva fabric. First of all, can we just talk about? I was like, oh, this is nice. That was my actually my first time working with a Minerva fabric, period. Um, and I'm like, oh, mm-hmm, yeah, I need more of that. So it was a scoop, it was a Ponte. So Ponte de Roma in their Coiled Kingdom. So it was a snake print for that I made for my app tailored look using vintage stretch and sew patterns. One new pattern, so it was part of new pattern November. Um, but my next, I just ordered my next fabric, and I'm actually going to do a sweatsuit set, like one of the Norris's his sweatsuit set with like they had the little snaps and stuff up the leg
Yeah,
um out of a scuba. So I'm excited for that. And it has little animals on it in rainbow. It's
I
got to
love
be a lot.
that.
And I love a lot. So it's perfect for me.
I love that. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
dope.
And it's funny as we're going into the new year and stuff like that. And am I thinking of like different sewing and stuff like that? There are some fun opportunities that are on the horizon. Of course, we can't talk about them yet because they so good. Contracts have to be in place. Amen. Hallelujah.
That's right.
Um, but just kind of thinking of other things that I want to do in the new year and stuff like that. It's I'm excited. I'm getting like, oh, this is joyful, and I'm finding new ways and new places to even just insert my creativity or
Yeah,
how my creativity is making room for me in rooms that I normally would not be in,
I love that.
which is lovely.
I love that. And it's well deserved, you know. And of course, I'm very excited about that as well. And very, very excited to see you begin to receive these flowers that you can enjoy now. You know what I mean?
Amen. Look, because we gonna smell them. We gonna get them. We gonna give them to
Yeah.
others.
Like,
Amen.
what's the point in having the flowers, when you're no longer around to enjoy them? There is none.
When I tell you, I'll be pissed if y'all spend 50, $11 million on a flower arrangement for me and I'm dead. Do y'all
Just
realize I will come back up
and haunt you.
and let y'all all have it?
Mm-mm-mm.
Y'all,
Not
be,
me though.
y'all, then you better turn the casket over or something like that. If you see a whole bunch of just a big old spray of flowers over top of
I
me,
mean, look, I'm gonna
and
be
ain't
like
sticking
compost.
nothing but a monstera plant or something like that, a little piece of leaf in my life.
Do you know how much I would love it if somebody planted like, I mean, I want to be cremated, so I will not even have a grave. But like in the highly unlikely event that I did actually have a grave, do you know how amazing it would be if someone like came and like planted a garden around me?
Mm, mm,
Right?
that'd be beautiful.
I was talking to Aurora about this, and she's my fellow crunchy girl, right?
Hmm.
We were talking, and I was telling her that in Florida, you can actually be composted, like your
You
body can
can.
be composted. I'm not
Right.
exactly sure how we got on this topic, so my apologies for getting us here.
But we here. But we here. Hmm. But we here. Y'all, we ain't talked for a little bit. So this is how
Yeah.
y'all know we be talking without really a script. We just be talking at you.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna get what y'all get.
And, enjoy it. What can we say? But
Right.
yeah,
Y'all are in the recesses of our mind.
but
So
also, like, I
welcome.
just feel like I'm at the juncture, and I feel like this year, I feel like I took this year up until right now, right? Like I feel like I took everything in stride and it was like, oh, everything's gonna be all right. I love life. Everything's wonderful. Yay, whoop-de-woo. Cool. Gotta have 4 surgeries done on my legs. It's great. It's fine. It's wonderful. Everything's amazing. I'll be able to walk again. So what if I've been in chronic pain for like 8 months? I'm so excited. Um, but then last week I got hit and
Hmm.
my car is, we still don't know what's going on, what will happen. Um,
Hmm.
And then like I started battling a cold earlier this week and I'm just
Hmm.
like I'm ready for a break. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready for rest. I'm ready to, just rejuvenate and finish that process.
When
And I
when I
don't
tell
feel like being
you,
positive Polly or looking for silver linings and things like that. Even though I will say that when we are down to one car, my absolute favorite thing is to drop my husband off at work because then I just get like those couple extra moments with him and we normally will go and have coffee together or something along those lines. I'm like, sure, I do appreciate that, but you know what I appreciate more? Not having to leave my house so early in the fucking morning. So, yeah.
well, praise the Lord. Look at that. When I tell you, I have 2 more days. Friday is my last day in the office for the year,
Hmm.
or my last day of working. So today was my last day in the office. Thursday and Friday, we're recording on Wednesday today. We are at home, like working from home, but my last day of work is Friday, and I don't go back to work until the 6th.
Wow.
Child, when I tell you, I am so excited for the break. I do have plans for the break, of course, from my class on Saturday to I'm currently working on a vintage Vogue uh is it, yeah, Pierre Cardin coat from the
Our
70s.
Kardashian, come on.
With a amazing exaggerated, when I tell you exaggerated collar, it's giving 70s finest, in a chocolate brown wool, with skeletons and skull lining. It's very interesting because y'all know I don't usually do it with skeletons and skulls, but I saw it and I was like, oh, yep, I want it.
Mm.
And these gold buttons, and it's coming together, and it's knee length, and it got princess things, so it got a little swish to it.
Oh, it's
Um,
wow.
a little switch to it, It switch when I walk. I like it. Make me feel pretty. Um, so I'm excited. Like, there are things that I plan to work on, and just having the break. I'm realizing that I need a break from being on and using my brain in a way that is causing fatigue.
That part.
I don't know if it's burnout. I don't know what it is, but just even it's getting harder to do the things that I can do, you know, and to, or even to do them with excellence. Like, it comes to a point like you just start feeling like you just doing things, like you making dumb mistakes and you don't know why, but you can't like get out of it. And it's not like, again, my job, nobody gonna die. Everything is cool. But it's just not feeling like it's harder just to be able to function regular. And I can't put my finger on it, but I need a break to hopefully reset.
Yeah.
Because I like to buy sewing machines, so I need a job, you
So I
know?
had a student in class last weekend who was like, "Yeah, I just like to go off and buy vintage sewing machines. I don't even know how to fix them." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Well, please look up Julian Creates. He also
Okay.
does this, but also he is
I can
getting
fix something.
certified to become a technician. So if you need help, he will likely be able to."
But in all honesty and transparent, y'all about to tell all my business, child. How about I forgot I was supposed to be getting certified? How about I had to sign up for the classes, and I can't tell you the last time I actually logged in to look at them. Y'all, y'all pray for my strength.
Story of
But
my
I'm
life.
telling my business, so judge me if y'all want to, and watch Juju come out. I'm just saying.
Listen, I had to take inventory of all of the random ass trainings that I've purchased so that I
Shit.
could, and I had to put the links because I was like, you know what I will do is I will forget where the link is.
Yes. Yes.
So I have to put an inventory list together so that I will complete them.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So is that part of our 2025 is completing all our trainings?
No, that is not because I don't want to set myself up for failure. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how about we hold each other accountable to complete one training in
That we can
2025?
do.
Okay. Hmm. Okay.
'Cause, I swear sometimes I really just be making myself laugh. So I was training to be a certified life coach as well.
And
And
lifestyle life
you,
fit, and you needed a
like,
coach to finish it up. Uh-huh.
and I didn't log in. Like,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. As we're talking about this, I signed up for, it was the University of Sedona. They have a PhD in like metaphysics. I think I listened to one class and her voice got annoying.
I was literally talking about that today with someone. No, yesterday.
Hmm.
My girlfriend Shakaya. Um, and she was like, "Do you ever stop reading an audiobook because of how the narrator's voice?" I was like, "Oh my God,
All the
yes."
time. Hmm.
I was listening to one of a Frida McFadden book, and I really
Okay.
enjoy her. She does like suspense, thriller, etc., right? And
Hmm.
I was like listening to this book, and this was the first book that this has ever happened to me with. And Julian, the narrator's voice, I was like, this literally can't be life
So
because
when that happens, what I end up having to do, first of all, y'all know I got ADD. So it's hard for me to stay on, like, I can start a book. I can have 5 books going. Do I finish them? This question.
mm,
Um, but when I do finish a book, what is helping me, especially if I'm listening to it, I gotta listen to it like at least 2x.
Yeah,
And if
same.
if if they are boring to me, Speechify, which is an app, what I like what Speechify does is that it will automatically just kind of start to progressively get faster so that it trains your brain and stuff like that to listen faster and be able to fully hear it. So I will end up, I think I got up to like 400 to 500 words a minute
Wow. Wow.
and just let it. I'm like, and honestly, when I tell you it provides a sense of calm
Mm.
when it happens. Because sometimes too slow and I get lost and I'm like, and I just zone out. But that I can keep up with, and you can also see it moves with the words. But also, even if you don't want to buy the app, in the accessibility section of your phone and stuff like that, you can basically if you turn it on, especially on an iPhone and on an iPad, you can turn basically it will read it to you, and
Yeah.
it will basically do the same thing as Speechify. And you can change the speed, but it will also highlight the words as it's reading to you. So if you need that visual cue to stay on track, it helps.
Have to look up Speechify,
Because
see if I feel like
Speechify,
I get it.
it ain't cheap. That's the
I
thing
was
about
trying to
Speech.
see if they have like the pricing listed, but they don't.
Last I checked, it was like they were trying to make it so that you would have to buy it by the year, and it was like $200-300, and I'm like, well then no.
Wow.
Um,
That's
but
really excessive, right?
I mean, there's that. Um, so yearly, you can start free for unlimited, but premium, so like full Speechify experience is $30 a month.
A month.
A
Let
month.
me go ahead and stop that download because you know what? Mm-mm. I've heard what I
But
need to hear.
you can do 10 standard reading voices, listening to speeds up to 1x, listen anywhere, text to speech features only, unlimited, you could do that for free. But that the listen to up to 5x faster speeds, yeah. Or it's 11.58 per month per user for a year.
Okay, that's
So
not too
that
bad.
is a child,
But
I
like,
don't pay for nothing, like not for an app.
yeah. So now let me
But
ask you a question. Are you an audiobook listener while you sew?
depending. Sometimes I am if it's a good audiobook.
Mhm.
I haven't like there was a time like I have my moments and I go through my spurts of like I'm listening to podcasts and audiobooks all the time.
Mhm.
Um, right now, honestly, I especially that I got Apple CarPlay and stuff like that, I
Mhm.
will put on YouTube and listen to Paternity Court in the car
Okay, paternity court be taking me out.
or People's Court or Judy Justice or I'm a court show person.
Mm.
Um, And that is kind of what is noise or gospel music. So I have not
Okay.
been listening to as many podcasts and stuff as I used to. Um, like I used to be like, I would have them down, like the read, then like dressed and all these different ones. The
Yeah.
read, um, I needed to work on my own positivity. I'm like, well, I can't listen to you right now.
Yeah.
So I took a break from them and it just kind of I fell out of it. Um I think it was during the pandemic. I just kind of like, because I was already at home and I'm like, well, shoot, I could watch something or
Yeah.
like have something playing like that. And I wasn't in the car as much. And every so often I will pick it up, but then I will put it down. So I have not gotten back into the swing of things as I used to be.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
because especially like true crime podcasts and stuff like, oh, I love them. Maybe this is the season for me to do that again.
I need some of your true crime podcasts. I do actually. It's funny because I was talking about this today with my girlfriend, and she was like, "Do you use Audible?" And I was like, "I do use Audible." And
Hmm.
early on in my Audible career, I was downloading. I was just downloading. I don't even know why I was downloading these books. And I wish
That's
I could return them because I've never downloaded them, never listened to them. I wish I could just be like, "Hey, can I just swap this out for some shit I'm actually going to listen to?"
Some of them you have a certain amount of limit every year that you can return.
Oh, well. Let me go through mine
Right.
because there are quite a few.
You
Because
have to
like
do it
I was
from like a
downloading
computer.
autobiographies and stuff like that. Literally, the only autobiography I listened to was Trevor Noah's, and his was fantastic because he, of course, was the reader,
Right.
and great book. But
Hmm.
I never listened to them before because I didn't know about the speed. Like I didn't know that I could increase my speed. And once I figured out that I could increase my speed, oh, I was like, bet, this is
Right.
amazing. Like I
Right.
love that. But you know what I don't love is elitism in the reading community. And they're like, oh, well, if you listen to an audiobook, it's not reading. And I'm like, words are words.
And you can lick something. How
Ooh.
about that?
Yeah,
Again, y'all, patience is gone. Um, please, like, look, we live in a day and age. Do you understand that people are getting into college with barely able to read at a fifth grade level? Like, shut up. If they are getting education and information, whatever works, whatever works. The same way with sewing. If it works, if it comes together, if you are using, even if you're using a single heavy duty, ain't my
mhm.
favorite, but if it worked for you, use
It
it.
works.
Like,
Yeah.
I think we just need to get to that point now where, like, look, like, there's enough for it all. If it gets you to the end goal, there like ways gives you multiple directions to go. Why we only think there's one?
It's a privilege to only know one way to do things. You know what I mean?
I just don't
You're
get
never
it.
forced to learn another way. And I'm just like, yeah, you got to release this notion that
Hmm.
there's only one way or one anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I don't understand why in a world where we have creativity, we have brain power, we got lion's mane, why we think there's only one way to do something.
And look, and especially as people is getting on all types of herbs and shrooms and mushrooms
That
and
part,
vines and juices and berries and shit, use what you got to get what you want.
do it, please.
You better use nature as your whore and make nature drop down and get his eagle on for you.
Wow.
So that I need you to make the world tip drill for you.
Tip,
How
take out
how
the
you
part.
how you making the world your bitch this week? How about that?
Ooh, how
That's
about
the
that?
question. How you about to make 2025 your bitch?
Mm,
That's the question we got for y'all. Because I think that's just where we at. Because 2024 tried to have us,
hmm.
try to get us on so many hands. And out, with Mercury and getting microdermabrasion and micro braids and gel
Oh,
X manicures every few days. Um, and whatever else is happening in the world, I'll be damned if I let this happen again in 2025. I cannot take
hmm.
I need to take it by the balls and I need to do that. And I want to do that in every aspect of my life. If that means that I'm up here making sure that I'm the courses I done paid good money for, I'm completing some.
I'm stepping on our necks.
Or I am deciding and I'm showing up in the world in the clothes and the colors and things that I want, come what may. And if somebody who only likes gingham or something like that got something to say, let them say it. Like we just there. We're just there. And I can still do it with a smile and be professional about it. Right now, I ain't sounding like I can because again, my patience don't run out with the snot. But like that's just what it is. And the more I think about it right now, like the more I feel passionate and emboldened about what can come next year because I'm just tired. I'm like,
Yeah,
there's no space for there's no space anymore to not take up space in
yeah.
place spaces that have basically not been designed for me. If I don't make my space here, ain't no space gonna be made.
Mm-mm.
You gonna see me And you gonna be annoyed by my presence, not because I'm doing anything to be annoying, but just because I'm living with joy and living as myself. And that's just what 2025 got to be about.
It does, yeah. Yeah.
If that means that, it got to be about me growing my own plants and herbs and whatever like that, and just be ready for whatever come what may. Because y'all, look, let's be real about it. No telling what about to happen just with the world, period. As they up here talking about drones coming up out the ocean and orbs, I'm like, child, look, Earth is ghetto. I want to leave. Beam me up. I'm out on the street by the corner store. The one on 15. I
Well,
got
things
some.
got scary for me just that second.
I got some 5 on gas.
Now I feel
Mm-mm.
like I haven't been paying attention to current events. Like I didn't
I
have enough time to be afraid.
good. It ain't no need. I mean, because at the end of the day, whatever's gonna come, gonna come.
I mean, it
I'm
is facts.
I'm gonna be like there's some old pictures from the 60s and stuff like that during civil rights where people was up there standing in front of the police, smoking a cigarette, just ready. Look, just let me know if I need to go get my pack ready now. Because I'm like, look, at the end of the day, it's gonna be what's gonna be.
I need more batteries, man.
As I was reading one of these books, you gotta make sure you got your dryer lint ready for a fire starter if you need it. Little
Mm.
dry lint. Go ahead and clean out the vents and keep a little mason jar or some of it in case you just need it one day.
Mm. Let me add that to my. Okay, so don't judge my life, but we have like an emergency bag that is
No, you
like
do.
already packed, and
Of course you do. Of course. Of course.
so now I'm like, oh, let me go put that in my
How
emergency.
she about to go get her little Cafe Bustelo can, put some little dry, go have just a collection of dry lint and shit in this can. So that she can go ahead and heat up her organic lentils when the power goes.
I hate you and their red lentils too.
I know, because I know, because I know. With some harissa and some
Looking over this
other
bowl.
Indian spices or something like that you're gonna
You know,
toast
a little
first.
garam masala,
Right, right. Some turmeric,
Cuban, little coriander,
because I know this. But
We might
y'all,
be
like,
stranded, but we still gonna be eating good.
right, and organic and healthy, and still getting some gourmet shit.
We
Lord.
gonna be fighting inflammation, you feel me?
Right. Well, look, because if we got to be fighting or running from zombies, you can't be having your knees swole.
This is what I'm saying. We can't have nobody's arthritis sucking them up.
Look, and I'm like, at the end of the day, is it cute?
Mm.
Is they gonna take the bills away? Take the
I'm over
bills.
here like, damn, for Vlogmas, I should have like included some some like emergency
Child,
preparedness stuff.
child. Look, I mean, you could end it on that. End it on an emergency preparedness note or something.
I'm ending it. Well,
You can
my
make a whole.
goal.
You can make a bag. You can make your emergency pack bag out of some vinyl or something like that. Go ahead and like break down an old couch or something you find on the side of the road to make a bag. You can make a little Guardian backpack or
I can't believe
something.
you're trying to set me up for failure this way. Someone's gonna go on the side of the road and go take apart a piece of the couch. You know they got plenty of them out there. And you're not wrong, but still you had to me like that.
I mean, or you could
Now
go
I'm
to a
over here
family
like,
joint or something.
is that a thing? Should I really do it?
I mean, I mean, I mean,
So, in my head, I like to camp and do all those like outdoorsy things until like a bug approaches my vicinity, and then I'm like, oh, never mind. Like,
right.
basically,
You,
like
you don't even
a
gotta take me out
spider,
the
but now
house.
I kind of feel like I gotta practice. You know what I mean? Because if I'm supposed to be team leader for the zombie apocalypse, I can't be out there like crying when a spider approaches me.
Y'all, why is she up here trying to be the Girl Scout troop leader for the zombie apocalypse, y'all? Y'all, how did we get here?
It's your fault, man.
It is, and I'll take responsibility. And y'all, because it is my fault, I apologize to y'all too, but y'all joining us on